If you have heart disease and you're over 40, you probably feel like you're living with a ticking time clock inside your chest. You've been told what you can't do. But what if I told you that you could build a secondary circulatory system? I'm not talking about surgery. I'm talking about literally signaling to your body to grow new blood vessels, build a natural bypass around your own blockages using nothing but a specific type of brisk walk. But a disclaimer here, you want to talk to your doctor first. I'm just a runner. I have no medical anything. I'm just a mid-pack kind of guy trying to get better using running as my way of training. This isn't alternate medicine. This is hard cardiovascular science. It's a biological process called angiogenesis. It's your body's dormant ability to be able to grow new plumbing. But there's a catch. And the reason why most men over 40 miss it entirely, you have to trigger it. Very specifically, if you work too hard, you shut the signal down. If you don't work long enough, the signal never turns on. So what is the exact duration required to unlock the growth mode without ever grasping for air? To understand the payoff, you have to understand what's happening to your muscles. When you do high intensity exercise like heavy lifting, or you're sprinting, or you're doing tempo runs or threshold runs, your body goes into crisis mode. It forces blood through existing, perhaps maybe stiff pathways, so to speak, and it's really stressful. But when you stay strictly in zone 2, that pace where you can hold a conversation but sound a little breathy, you can create a different signal. You create a sustained low-level demand for oxygen that your current blood vessels struggle to meet efficiently. Because the stress isn't acute, your body has time to adapt. It realizes, hey, our supply lines are inadequate down here. We need to build more roads. I think that's what your body's kind of telling you. Now the payoff is called capillarization. Your body responds by sprouting thousands of microscopic new blood vessels called capillaries into your muscle tissue. And that is a good thing. But the research indicates this signal is time dependent. It doesn't really kick in until about 35 to 45 minute mark of continuous zone 2 movement. A 20-minute jog won't do it. You need to sustain that pressure. So why does this save your life? Well, think of your vascular system like a congested highway system. Heart disease means lanes are closed. But by doing zone 2 and growing thousands of new little side roads for blood to travel, you drastically lower the total resistance your heart has to pump against every single beat of the day. The result? Lower resting blood pressure and a heart that doesn't have to work so hard just to keep you alive. It may sound dramatic, but that's just kind of how I look at it. And that isn't just exercise, that is remodeling of you, your future. Hey, my name's David. I'm the plant-powered runner. I've been using the Mafetone method, zone 2 training, the Cavarvan formula, heart rate-based training for like 5 years. And I've seen my improvements time and time again using this method. So from running an ultra marathon to half marathons to 5K, 10K, everything in between, I've used it and it works, and I love to share it on this channel. Now listen, I talk like this because I was there. I was in a place where things were not going really well. My blood pressure was through the roof. It was 169 over like 110. Okay, that was just that moment in time. And they wouldn't let me leave my doctor's office. I had it done like 4 or 5 times. It was crazy. And then she came in and she's like, David, we're gonna have to put you on blood pressure medication. This is not a good thing. This is not normal. Normal is like kind of like 125 over 80, but you're nowhere near that. So I realized that I had to make some hard changes. And the changes came, it was like a multi-pronged solution. Number one is I went plant-based. I cut out all the meat, all the junk, all the garbage that wasn't serving me. And I would just went plant-based. And I did that for like, I don't know how many years has it been now? Like a long time. It's been over like 10 years. And by doing that, it really helped change the game. But not only that, is I started to run. Now, at the time, I was running a little too fast and I was a little younger. I could probably get away with it. But as I got older, I realized that zone 2, aka the Maffetone method, I needed to be in that zone. And I needed to stay there for a long period of time. Because the longer I stayed there sustaining that level, like for an hour, for an hour and a half, I found like my Goldilocks time was between an hour and a half and 2 hours. That was like Goldilocks time. It was amazing. It felt awesome. It felt right. And I saw massive improvements. Look, not all of us can run that long all the time. And I have kind of dialed back my training significantly over that time to help with family in a lot of ways. However, it doesn't diminish what I talked about, because you can get your results from like a 45 to an hour zone 2 run. And it works. And if you're going to do anything in the new year that's going to kind of help you improve your life, to live longer, my doctor said to me, she goes, look, David, I'm not a runner. But what I do know is I see a lot of people who are not well, who don't do anything. So if you can at least get out and go for a walk, that will help. And I took that piece of advice. I did walk. I walked my way to walking a marathon one morning out of the blue. And that's kind of how this whole thing started. And so you can start with a short period of time, like maybe do it 3-4 times a week, and slowly build more and more and more and more. This channel has come a long way. And I'm grateful that I have the platform that I have, because it allows me to share some stories that I've picked up along my running journey and my life. I have a lot of life stories that I like to share in my videos, because I think it helps people, I don't know, connect. Because we've all been somewhere on our health journey, maybe starting off not doing really well, maybe overweight, right? Or maybe you're unhealthy, skinny, and you're struggling, right? Because that's a thing as well. So depending on where you are in your journey, the one message that happens over and over and over again is movement. Move. Just move. Just do something. Just do something. Because by not doing anything, you're digging yourself a deeper, deeper hole. And what happens when you stop digging? You can start to come up with a plan and getting out of the hole. And that is a place where I think a lot of people want to be. They want to be on the ladder, climbing out of the hole. And once you get out of the hole, then you can start climbing the foothills. And once you pass the foothills, then you can get a little higher in the mountain. And eventually, you'll get to the peak. But when you get to the peak, you're going to have the peak, and then you're going to have the valleys. And this is life, right? So you want to be able to find something that you can do that can motivate yourself, that you can continue to do for a long period of time, for your well-being, for your health, for your capillaries, right? You can build new blood vessels, right? And who doesn't want that? That's a good thing. If you like the videos, think about liking, subscribing, and commenting, and following along on the journey, because there's a heck of a lot of year to go, because this is just the beginning. For the last little while, I've kind of been looking at what's been going on with my heart rate and where the drift is at and what's been going on. And I have to say, over these 3 runs that I've done, I'm very pleased to see my heart rate settle down. it's gotten to a place where I am extremely happy. And next week, I'm gonna show you another video of another run that I did and the drop that continues to happen the more that I run. As long as I get rid of the stress, I can get back into running, I can start seeing the results that I know that I have in me. They're just sitting dormant right at the moment, but they will come, they will happen, and I'm pretty stoked to see where things are where they're coming from. Sometimes running at night is not always fun, specifically when there's a snowstorm rolling in. This is how it's done, baby. Get out and run. Enjoy whatever Mother Nature throws your way. Look it in the eye and say, I ain't done yet. Time to get at it, boys and girls. Get out and run. Woo!